In this petition, there is no doubt that Parliament cannot determine whether the impugned sections are unconstitutional. Parliament can also determine whether deployment of police officers outside Kenya is unconstitutional. Parliament's mandate is to approve or for such declaration has to be published in the Kenya Gazette. Section 108(1) authorizes the President, on application by a government of the reciprocating country, to order a number of police officers he may consider necessary emergency. Under subsection 2, a police officer who is punished in the reciprocating country under any of the provisions of our Act, which are applied in the reciprocating country under the reciprocal arrangement, that officer will be deemed to have been punished in Kenya for a similar offense if committed in Kenya. Section 109, on the other hand, is the Kenya under reciprocal arrangement similar to those in Section 108, subsection 1. The petitioner's case is that the impugned sections are constitutionally infirm because they allow deployment of police officers outside Kenya.
The power of the council, they could deploy outside Kenya. Otherwise, there is every reason why when we were doing the constitution, writing this constitution, we renamed it from a police force to a police service. And in fact, it's a government parastatal called KIPRA that actually undertook a detailed investigation on why we must change the name of the police force before the new constitution to a police service so that it can serve here. And you know, I like to give factual examples. I come from a place called Kapedo. Maybe many of you have heard about Kapedo. It's a battleground. You know, people being killed every other day. There is no enough police service there. So really, what wisdom could possibly have driven President William Ruto to make that roadside declaration that Kenya police, who are very inadequate in our own country, could be deployed to another country, to a gangster, to a gangland, basically. So I think I'm very happy that the judge has outlawed that declaration. He has also clearly stated that, processes must be followed. I think unless you have a specific question,
yes, so if I understand correctly,
and I don't even.
But what if they sign it tomorrow?
Even if they sign, they must still follow the law. The law is very clear. I mean, they can sign whatever agreement. Kenya has signed many treaties, internationally, regionally, but you must still comply with the Kenyan law.
Okay, so what do they need to do if they want to send police forces?
They can't send police forces because it's against our constitution, it's against the law. They can only send the Kenya National Defense Forces, which is the Kenya Army, the Air Force, and the Navy. That's what they are mandated under our Kenyan constitution and under the law. So they cannot touch a police service.
I thought there was something in case of emergency.
There was no emergency.
No, yeah. Let me just clarify our answer before I've been the attorney in this matter. Yeah, first of all, we have to congratulate my client here for doing a good job, impeccable instructions that were presented before court. Number two, I want to congratulate the court for standing firm and delivering justice to Kenyans. It's quite unheard of that somebody will just want to wake up one day and say that he's sending troops to 1,000 miles away in Haiti. So the court has said that it's unconstitutional. So let me just clarify three aspects of the judgment. Number one is that, first of all, we were being blamed in the petition that we went prematurely to court, whereas the parliament was considering that matter. And the court indeed found that as at the time that we were in court, a decision had been made by the National Security Council. So there's no premature aspect of the petition. But number two, which is extremely important, is that the National Police Service, the wording of the force as employed in the Constitution, does not connote National Police Service to the extent that the force only means our Kenya Defense Forces, which is the Kenya Army, the Kenya Navy, and the Kenya Air Force. So in that regard, the National Police Service cannot be deployed outside this country. And the court has given direct finding and declarations to that effect. So we are very happy that as we speak, the national government of this country cannot deploy the police to Haiti or any other country. We appreciate that they have the right to appeal. If at all something comes in that regard, we'll be able to deal with it. So that is the conclusion that we've come from court with. and that will relate to the rest of Kenyans. Because the subject matter of this petition was very specific to Haiti, not any other country. So there is no government capable of giving a request from Haiti to the government of Kenya, and that none can be manufactured even today and tomorrow.
But let me also say this, from a geopolitical point of view, historically created by colonialists called the French, then the Americans invaded Haiti. The gangs that were supposed to go and clean up in Haiti are weaponized through Florida by the Americans. Honestly, I mean, guys, let's be reasonable here. Who even has the mightiest military in the world? Isn't it the US, the French, Canadians, and all those people? So it does not even make sense why America will not send even 2,000 police officers to Haiti, which is closer to it, and then come to Kenya. You've all seen, for example, when there is an arrest of a black man in the US, you will see almost 10 or even 20 police officers. Yeah? You'll see 20 or even 10 police officers just arresting one black man, whether a child or otherwise. Now, this is a joke that they think that 1,000 police officers from Kenya can actually go and clean up the mess that they created in Haiti. I know this was not part of the petition, but we also know there are other interests in Haiti, other than just
mischief.
Yes.
Extraneous considerations.
Yes. We'll leave it at that. Thank you.